What's up? Listen. Starting the morning with self-love. Very important. Okay? I forget that I have a fucking checklist that I use before I go live. Nice. All right. Whoopsies. What happened to you? Oh. No? Velocity, that should work. It's a great camera. It's really the lighting. The camera's pretty basic, but the lighting kind of makes it. Yeah, every time I improve my lighting, everybody always says nice things. Boy, oh boy. I had every intention of using my MIDI, but for whatever reason, it's giving me sass. So I'm gonna have to find some hotkeys. There's advanced scene switcher. I gotta get you. Yeah. And then we gotta get you. Yeah. Let's test that real quick. And now we're paused. Oh, I gotta make sure it starts. There we go. Sweet. Oh, I didn't just forget yesterday. I don't know what happened yesterday, I think. Where's advanced scene switcher? I feel like I fucked up here. Start. Stop the advanced scene switcher. And where's the... This is the macro. Stop replay buffer. Unpause. There we go. Alright, that would be why that was happening. Sweet. Yeah, something Mariah also promotes. Yeah, good lighting is probably the most important thing in general. And almost any, like, even if you're doing imaging, like the most recent silly fucking thumbnails I have the shittiest lighting, which is kind of why they're funny. It's tough because, like, I want to get better at it, but then I have to get better at it and I won't look as ridiculous. Defiant sent this in, and I just kind of wanted to get this. I gotta start watching this stuff before it gets cold. I make sure that my coffee is, like, nice and not overheated, because then the flavor. So what happened to message? You sent me a message? If you want to point me to it, Tank, or resend it. Let me, this is something I was meaning to watch. This is Defiant. Let's see. There we go. Get rid of that. Let's take a look.
Hi, my name's Defiant. I'm a beatboxer, and I'm here to answer some questions for Tony. And it just so happens that I've actually studied Helium quite a bit, so I can answer pretty much every question he has in this here video. Let's get into it.
And it's really enjoyable to listen to. I really do want the 3/4 section again.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 1.
And that part's really interesting to me because of all the in and out breathing sounds. I might be wrong on that, but that's just the way it feels.
All right, so the first thing to go over here is the
Hey, Defiant. I was gonna watch this in my own time, but I figure this is my own time. I stream whatever I fucking want. I figured the way that I'll do it, the way that I'll just be able to do what I want is just make a fuck ton of content again, but keep variety. For hours, had to watch 10 Miles for no reason in the dark. Every time I watch 10 Miles, I always feel weird. Oh, I had to walk 10 miles in the dark for no fucking ouch, Tank. That's fucking hard. That's rough. I used to commute by walking an hour and a half. I'm glad you got out of there. That does blow though. Sometimes you gotta leave. And yeah, I'm just gonna keep watching it.
And that part's really interesting to me because of all the in and out breathing sounds. I might be wrong on that, but that's just the way it feels.
All right, so the first thing to go over here is the build-up that is in 3 at the beginning. So it's in 3 beats per measure. And Tony is commenting on how he's using a lot of inward and outward sounds. At least he's pretty sure that Helium is. And yes, that is exactly how he's able to do this drop. So let's break it down. He's putting a kick drum on the beat. Then between the first 2 kick drums, he's doing an inward lip roll.
Nice.
Then he's doing an outward lip buzz. He does his through the front. I do mine through the side. And then he is doing an inward K snare. So he's got 1 inward, 1 outward, 1 inward between the 3 on the floor kicks.
This might be the only instance where I think a reaction to a reaction actually works out here because there's value add. This is why I miss video responses on YouTube, because you were able to do this sort of a thing, and it was like kind of the reaction, and then it's like a really old feature that went away, and all the people who used to use this site back in the day want it back. I think it's to spend any time with husband. He lives with me. It was awful. My back feels broken. My thighs feel like rubber. I'm going to imagine you don't often walk 10 miles because, yeah, if I walk 10 miles, it'd be like, ugh. Look at this. Look at how little I give a fuck. I have a stained fucking sweater. Fuck it. If I do this, it'll... Look at that. Problem solving. 6 at the most. I can't with the fitness. That's why I have to go back to doing manual labor. But that blows, Tank.
And he switches that to a PF snare on each of the 3 beats instead of a kick. So he's moving a lot of air both ways.
Yeah, your guys' volume is cool. It's safe volume. Mine is cranked. That's so loud. That whistle tone. It's cool though, because I guess the first thing that comes to mind for me is like everything we just talked about. All these rhythms happen.
What I do like about Helium, what he's doing here is he's definitely accounting for the sound. I wonder if it's like I feel like Helium just knows mic placement. Like, look at the mic placement here.
Yeah, you guys'
Now, because of the reverb, there's obviously some editing, but
volume is cool. It's safe volume. Mine is cranked. That's so loud. That whistle tone. It's cool though, because I guess the first thing that comes to mind for me is like everything we just talked about, all these rhythms happening, all the musician stuff that's required to go on in the face and the throat and the airways. Then how do you produce that whistle tone at the same time while not losing any like quality of sound on the other parts there? That's pretty weird in a great way. Yeah, just wild stuff, man. When it's so foreign, I'm like, okay.
All right.
This is the
next
thing about
question
beatboxing,
is
man.
about Helium's whistle. Now, this is one sound I cannot replicate of Helium's. I'm not great with whistles personally, but the trick to being able to switch into that whistle so quickly while you're still doing other technical things all around it is by the technique of the whistle. When people think of whistling, you mostly think of using the shape of your lips and shape of the space in your mouth to create a whistle through your lips. Like that. I do mine inward. Most
I don't know
people
how
do
you
theirs
all make a
outward,
whistle
but
sound without it like just destroying the ears. This is I think what I love about Defiant is the educational angle. Because here you got a person who's been doing this for like 10 plus years with a massive appreciation and a very analytical mind and a willingness to go in depth to where a lot of people are not when they do tutorials. They don't go to this extent, which is fine, but some people need a little bit more of a deep dive. I want to have a clever response to internet dying. I got nothing. It's too early. Haven't finished the coffee. And given that this morning I might actually have a second cup. Yeah, I mean, this is going to be a video because this is going to be it's a reaction to reaction to reaction. Like I'm just going hard on the memes. Puffing after. Usually I only walk to a place, then my mom picks me up and takes me back home. She wouldn't come get me, so I had to walk back in the dark. That's rough, man. That sucks. Yeah. I've for years I haven't had a car. I haven't had a license even. So like being reliant on people and public transit and all that shit is tough. And then when you have like that situation like you're talking about.
But a lot of beatboxers who do whistles have a lot of alternative whistles. You have beatboxers like Hartzell, who use a tongue whistle between the tongue and
This
the roof
technique
of
is
their
so
mouth.
weird.
But I believe Helium uses a tooth whistle, where essentially you shove your tongue against your teeth in just the right way, push air through the right place, and wabam,
There we go.
you have a whistle tone. So yeah, he's just got a place he can put his tongue. He's practiced it a lot. He can muscle memory switch into it lightning quick in the middle of a technical combo like that.
So when you do that sound, is that an outward air intake? You going this way or are you going this way?
You can do both.
I just, by looking at it,
You can do
I
both,
can't
which
tell
is
at
the
all.
craziest
Another
thing.
good
man.
question is on the direction of the air in the tooth whistle here. I believe Helium is doing an outward tooth whistle.
Oh, he's
It
doing a
makes
whistle.
sense with what he's doing. It's what it sounds like to me, just from experience. But many people actually do their tooth whistles inward, and I know a lot of people who can only do the inward tooth whistle who can't do an outward tooth whistle. So it is very common to see it both directions, but in this case, outward.
I like the fact that the beat gotta giga that came back. That's cool. Yeah. So we gotta talk about, I don't know, spit snares. Is that what they're called here? Whatever the snare work is, we're getting like the two variants on the timbre, meaning the way they're sounding, and it feels like someone's like mixing, like a DJ like spinning, but then like the rotation speed changes because we get the phrase, but then it feels like the timbre feels higher. So it's it's really cool. I lost track of where that happened because that was pretty captivating. I'm gonna go back a pretty significant chunk here.
It's pretty dope that, like, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like beatboxers who watch this stuff, like, it gets novel and normalized and stuff like that. So you gotta watch, you gotta watch people seeing it and hearing it for the first time to remember. Oh yeah, this is so boss. It's so sick.
So another thing to break down here is the snares. Spit snares, which Tony mentioned here, are a snare that is done with your lips. It sounds like this.
Yeah, I tried that
Different
one.
beatboxers have different techniques. I do the technique more similar to collapse, footbox G, or river, but there is a technique that beatboxers like BMG, Napalm, and Remix use that's a bit different with the lip position where you puff up your bottom lip. The snares that Helium is using here are the inward K snare and its non-inhaled counterpart, the rim shot snare. So the inward K, that is the side of your tongue, basically in the very back corner of your mouth against your teeth. You're
It's
breathing in
interesting
air,
that,
and if
that
you,
there's a sucking sound. Like, when I do my inhale K, I keep my tongue wide, and he's doing, but he's also got it like there's a drag, like Defiant has a knack for power. That's something he emphasizes a lot because he does live sound, and you can tell, you can tell he does live sound because he, you know, the bags under his eyes are larger than my mother's purses. Like, this guy works.
you put your tongue in the same position and sort of jut your jaw out to the same side, you can get the rim shot snare, which is used a lot in very technical combos. Helium was using it in FTKK combos, which are FTK, the letters, followed by the rim shot snare. It's a very, very fast series of sounds that you can get to insane speeds as you're seeing with Helium.
The one I was limited to when I was in the shower because I wanted speed because I was watching a lot of LM. So I would alternate between so TK and then for the variation. And that's the fastest I got, well, with it being clean. But like when Defiant does it, there's power that, like, this is why I need to go to live beatboxing events.
Yep.
Is that where we breathe? Is there any inward breathing during all that, or is that the breath location? Because
no, we don't breathe in beatboxing. Okay, breath is for bitches. Y'all drummers don't understand. You got sticks. You just whack. That's all you do. You unga bunga with the drumming. That's what you do. Okay, it's basic. Not really. Some of my best friends are drummers. Well, that's not true. I don't have friends.
Damn, dude, the manipulation of sound and air speeds here, it's like stupidly good.
Yeah.
Man, I'm sorry to do it to you. I just need it again. There's too many things happening. There's so much to try to comprehend.
So,
yeah.
Where is Helium breathing in the end buildup? That's the question here, and the answer is he's breathing in and out the whole entire time. So the combo he starts this out with is of course, his drums are better than mine, but that's still the combo. Then he ends that off with a at the end of each phrase. That's inward, while the is all outward, and he puts a lot of air behind all of those. I'm not putting as much air as he is, so he is probably running out of breath during the phrase and refilling during the lip roll at the end. And not, of course, completely running out, but definitely lowering his supplies, refilling to the same approximate amount, and then he ends that off with the K snare on the inward. So he's taking his breath as he ends the phrase, and then he comes back in a more neutral lung state, I guess.
This is where I think establishing like the routine part of building a routine, especially for something like a wild card, the preparation is fucking insane. If you don't work on different musical sequences, you're just going to have like this stock style. And I think a lot of people, I mean, definitely myself, I'm guilty of that. I think a lot of people are guilty of that. Enough about fucked up day. We're on beatboxing. That's where I'm at, I think. That's why I gotta do this. So I love myself. It's gonna be a second cup of coffee kind of day. That's why you can do this shit forever, because you're inhaling and exhaling. Yeah, and planning it out is what's, I think, very interesting. I wanted to get up Maple's stuff.
Hey, so I want to hear y'all's opinion on this. I was messing around with chest bass.
So this is a community member who is going through the process of building a routine, and I love how there's a lot of thought between different parts of the bit.
And I found something that I really, really like.
So he's talking right
I don't have much for it. It's something that I could maybe turn into a routine, or like a drop that I could surround with a routine.
He's putting together.
But it's like and it goes like that for a little bit, and then eventually it'll be like some build up. I'm not great at build ups, but
so it's really important that we don't like. What I like about this is that there's like how do I make the music? This isn't about how do I throw some like a bunch of crazy shit in there. Like and this is something that like Defiant emphasizes, and that any musician that I really respect emphasizes. It's about getting it clean. You got to get it clean first. They, them, for you, or for Maple, or both? I'm gonna wait on that. This is where I think I might make the point by practicing. Yeah, I think I'm gonna just make the point for Maple. Okay, appreciate the clarification. Right. Huge clarification. Maple's pronouns they, them. My apologies. Just like getting beatboxing right, we need to do right by people. All right. Thank you for clarifying that, Defiant. I appreciate that. What am I fucking doing? I was gonna bring up the spectrogram and then just work on Dale su Apache. This is where I was gonna get the attempts. This one? I think it's this one. Where's the counter? Do I have the attempts? Good. All right. This is why I love banger font. It's like it doesn't matter what the capitalization is. No. Let me get the sheet music up real quick. Alla sua pace, la mia dipende. Oh man, it goes up to a G? I forgot. Mozart's an asshole. Everything, Mozart looks easy on paper unless you know what you're looking at. Like Mozart is an asshole. All right. You know what? Maybe I do this. And then I just do Bert. Cool. There we go. Whoops. Nope. This one. So even when I prepare something like this, I go phrase by phrase, and I just again and again and again trying to get it right, doing different ways of doing it. Got an airplane overhead. I don't know why propeller planes come out of that airport. It's fucking rude. Oh boy. Let's see. Let's get the piano note. That's D flat? No, just D. Even though that was like 5 attempts. Sua da those glottals need to stop. It needs to be smoother. It's interesting. My muscle memory. My muscle memory kicks in. Let's see, is that correct? That's not 40. No. Why is it doing this to me? I don't want you doing 40. All right, you're reminding me of how old I'm almost. The trying to do it's just like it's got to be done better. La sua. If the breath kind of collapses, it's no bueno. It's no bueno. Da la sua. Yeah, you can feel that. I can feel the tongue go back a little bit. Da la da la. The temptation is to cover too early. This is a very intimate piece, so the vowels, there's a temptation to darken, but you don't want to do that. Da la su yeah, just that alone. Da la sua. If the vowels are not right, leading into one another, you kind of get this issue of where I suppose I might as well say this. I'll show you the work that I do over just getting vowels correct so that I can actually ascend without issue. It's all about doing the work beforehand. So, yeah, that's going too far back. Da, da, la, so. That oo resonance takes me too long to get to. Da, la, so. And you can see right here. Should probably zoom in a little bit. Nope, that's not how we do that. It's like right here. You can see that the oo loses a little too much of this resonance here. That's what projects. So that's important. Because if you don't do that, it's really not opera. Da la so. I'm trying to contract the AES to bring back that resonance, and you can see it kind of does come back. So, and we're not losing as much, right? Because this right here, this is what projects. So if you don't have that, it's going to be an issue. So this is why I love practicing with a spectrogram, because if you're sick sometimes, you cannot always tell because you're like congested. And so you think you can't sing, or you drink milk, coffee, but if you have this, you have perspective. That's more concrete than your own perception. Highly recommend. So I'm trying to get in 51 attempts. Da la sua. That needs a bit more AS. Let's do 20. I don't know, because it's definitely been probably more than 20. Yeah, there we go. Much more consistent. And it's important to maintain, again, that there's a brightness that we want to maintain. If the inhale is expansive enough, you're gonna get body to the sound, and you can see there's body. You can see that those fundamentals, those mids that are precious to a really robust sound, that's loud as shit. We're fine there. As we ascend, sometimes we think we don't have enough resonance, and again, spectrogram, fucking great for this shit. So, not enough AES. So, mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Da, da, la, swa. That's better. Clipping the mic, which is how you know it's working. Clipping the mic. Da, da, la, swa, pa. Da, la, swa, pa, che. Now we have this other thing. This is just one phrase. This is the work, man. Let's see. I went a little high. Da, yeah, I went a little high. Da, la, swa, pa, che. What note is that? Because I might need to cover. Not really. Not really. Not on an E. Not necessarily necessary. Hmm. Da, la, swa, pa, che. With the pa, you have to be careful. Pa. If the P is too plosive, you're gonna put a lot of pressure on the larynx. It's not super high, so it's not a big deal, but you have to trust that a P is gonna carry, because it will. I don't even know what attempt this is. I feel like I'm doing a lot more than I'm listening. not that many. But that's fine. Da, la, swa, pa, che. There we go. That's better. Okay. Now we go to the higher note of the phrase. But it's Mozart, so we have to be elegant, so it's got to be ace. It's probably more than 27. I don't know. I'm not actually counting. I'm just trying to make it so that people understand. You got to do this a lot. Da, la, swa, pa, che. Ace, la, mia dipende. 29? Oh, fuck it though. I should have done a before and after. That's something I'm missing. Da, la, swa, pa, che, la, mia di, la, mia dipende. And then I have to not cover. Ugh. Especially on the D. That accidental needs emphasis. I don't know. Let's go 32. Dipende. La di. La mia dipende. Tori Kelly covered Crazy Seal song, and right before the bridge she says crazy, but it transitions from to o on the word crazy, so it's so hard to do. Yeah, being able to do vowels in different parts of your range is a real skill and a challenge. And I've worked on it for so long with so many teachers that I forget that that's a thing. Because breath is so my problem. I don't know, 35, fuck it. Like we can all agree I've actually done more than 35, whatever. Dalla sua pace la mia dipende quel che a lei. The law is still, I think, too bright. Yeah, it's so important to be smooth. It's so important because you don't want vowel modification to be obvious. You know, because otherwise it sounds like pretentious. I don't know, am I 36? Let's go through. Yeah. Ooh. Pace la, pace la, pace la, there we go. Better. Better. E is hard. E is hard. It's gotta be like where am I? I'm bringing it up because I hate myself. My wife's home. Let me bring out the dog. Let me let her out. Let's do 40. Da la sua pace la mia dipende. That's not getting enough musical emphasis. Fuck it, 42, whatever. I'm making shit up now. Nah. La mia dipende, which would make pen necessarily more quiet. Let's see. Quel che a lei, quel che a lei piace vita mi rende. This is why I'm doing this song again, this aria. Because the phrase is really long, which is kind of indicative of what Taylor Swift was trying to do with Lavender Haze with the sus chord at the end. It's ambiguous, and so we don't really get a true cadence. Ellen cresce morte mi dà. Yeah. Yeah. What's this line? Morte. Did I give up on that? Yeah, it's not acceptable. Morte. And that's a little flat, I think, though. but that's better on the vowel. Keep going up. Oh, let's get the first note. Morte mi da mi morte mi da mi da. That's a little tense. Mi da morte mi da. On the morte mi da morte mi da morte mi da. I don't know, let's just go with like 53 or whatever the fuck. Morte mi morte mi morte mi morte mi da. All right. Now we do just the time lapse. I believe the file folder. Where is the folder? Let's move that to really. That's all we have. All right. I think it's great. Yeah, I removed it. All right. Case in point, I'm just working on resonance here. I was about 50 something tries just to get one phrase. Dalla sua pace la mia difende. Yeah, it's just not like ultra consistent. It's still like it's not, this is why a lot of opera singers back in the day, what they would do is they would, where did my video go? That's what I'm saying. A lot of opera singers back in the day would forehand. Case in point, I'm just working on resonance here. Really, that was all 50 something tries just to get one phrase. Dalla sua pace la mia difende. All right. Your vowel even, yeah, I mean, my vowels are probably the best thing about my singing. I've worked on them for fucking decade plus, easy. That's where I've spent the most time. It's breath, and then the AES I've kind of a little bit neglected, which is why I think my high notes are not so great. Let me cool off my computer a little bit. And then I want to go to maple, back to maple again, because they're oat tea. What? Not you. Stay where you are. So not only is maple, not only are they trying to get right the sort of the composition, but they're also making sure that each little bit of the piece is kind of is fleshed out, because if it's not fleshed out and you put it together, it can sound like the arrangement's bad, but it's not the arrangement, it's the tone and it's the delivery. So a lot of contemplation here. Looks nice, as in like the whole setup. Yeah.
Oh, and I should remember to include that he changes the pattern partway through. Instead of he goes so changing the kick drum into a snare drum. As a note on just how much breath he's taking in.
Yeah, hold on. What's up? What? Okay, I'm filming right now, just a heads up. Yeah, I've paused it, but I'm still live. I'll mute the mic. Oh, my goatees. It's funny you say that, Tank, because like I feel like I was gonna make a joke about, like, I was gonna make a video of like doing X until I am not a neckbeard. But I might keep it. I should have shaved yesterday, but and now we're here, but I didn't. Back to it.
During those combos, he actually has to use his lip buzzes to get out excess air in between with the
Yeah,
It is
something
like
a lot of
really
people don't
aggressive.
consider.
Where Where does the breath happen? Where is air happening in that phrase? That phrase is forever, man.
The question is, where is the breath happening in this final drop? And Tony, the answer is all the time. Like, the beginning of every phrase, the end of every phrase. So, to explain this, I need to break down Helium's signature technique, the vacuum technique. So the vacuum technique is something that Helium created. It's his own completely original technique made to approximate the sound of sucker punch combos. Sucker punches are when you let the tongue hit the top of your mouth when you're breathing in. That percussive stop, it's using that in combos. Napalm does it a fair bit. Alexinho's pretty well known for his sucker punch combos as well. But Helium found that if you breathed in similarly to a sucker punch and then rubbed your tongue along the top of your teeth to create a TH sound, that you could actually approximate the sound of a sucker punch, and it's a lot easier to go a lot faster. So he uses this technique here at the beginning of the bar. Something like that. So he uses that combo here. Definitely something a bit different than what I'm doing, because I don't try to step into his territory with this technique. It's a little too much for me. And then he always ends the combo with an inward K snare to set up the next one. So it's something like that.
I had a harder time in this one, though, because I feel way more musically stupid. Because I'm like looking at it going, dude, there's so many things.
This is one of those things where I think, you know, as a younger artist, you try to pick up everything, as you should. But I think what Defiant said here is very true. Once you get like your 10 years, 10,000 hours, you got to start being selective. Because if you want to do a thing, you can't learn everything. So you got to be kind of selective about what you do take on. I happened to get very distracted when I was doing opera. So I did sound, I did all this other stuff. And I think for that reason, my auditions were pretty weak. Husband's Native American, he grows his choppy, but it still looks better. Clean shaven face to me. It just make guy look very young with no face hair. Yeah, I need to stop being so conscious about my age. I could do, thing is like right here. This is why I don't shave right here. Because it doesn't look, I could do the goatee. I could pull that off. I never thought about it. I definitely want to get a haircut first, though. I have like a bowl cut gone wrong. Like it's almost time for a brony tail. Like that's how ridiculous this is. Like this is absurd. That's like when I get enough money, that's what's gonna happen.
Things. I think turning the speed down is effective, though. It'd be one of those where I'd have to like sit down and just notate out the rhythms and be like, give it to somebody like, hey, tell me, you write in all the articulation names, and then also tell me when breath work happens. When do the lungs get air? Because that's fascinating.
All right, so that's all the questions Tony had. So that should be the end of this video, but instead I'm going to give you a little bit of extra information because I think it's worthwhile, and I think Tony might appreciate it, and everyone else sure as hell won't dislike it. So the reason I'm able to know so much...
Listen. Your faith in humanity is commendable. You will absolutely get dislikes. It's the internet, but I like it, Defiant.
About Helium, his patterns, his techniques, and like pick it out of the video and isolate it for you is because Helium has a YouTube channel. And on that YouTube channel is a playlist called Training of Beats that has a bunch of different beats for people to train with, beats that Helium has trained with for many, many hours in a bunch of different tempos and a bunch of different difficulty levels. And sometimes some of those patterns make it into his full finished routines. So going into a routine, I already know a good portion of the patterns in there because he's showed them to everyone. And then the patterns I don't immediately know, I'm able to break down because I have a lot of experience listening to Helium, a lot of experience with his specific techniques, personally and in listening. And I just listen with a critical ear I listen slowly if it's hard to break down a quick technical pattern, but once you know enough about beatboxing and you can start to pick out what each individual sound sounds like, it's not too hard to break down a combo like that and explain it to someone.
I
So
mean, after
if
years.
you want more of that information, go to Helium's channel, look at his Training of Beats playlist. That's where you're going to find the breakdowns of all the different combos he uses, as well as each sound demonstrated one at a time with its own notation so that you can tell how stuff is put together. It's the best way to understand Helium or anything like him, and it's a great place to get started in your beatboxing journey, getting better at basics, because that's what Helium has always been focused on. Now, enough about Helium. It's time for self-promo. So, of course...
Listen, this is the most important part of the video, right? He put together a banger. This is a banger of a video. This is a lot of work. This is Defiant's first video, by the way. So for a person with a webcam, I put my B-roll. Let's go. There we go.
Please subscribe.
For a person with a webcam, okay? You can tell it's a webcam because it's 1x1. It's not even 16:9.
Subscribe if you haven't. I would really appreciate it. Leave a like if you liked the video. Please comment if you think I could do anything better. Well, not if you think I could do anything better. I know I could do.
So I'm gonna end it right there. And Defiant, I'm gonna let you know that actually there's and if you want, I'll send you the MatPat interview. Calls to action are better if you select one and give it emphasis. So if you said something like kiss the subscribe button, something that's like, wait, what? You said what, the subscribe button? Just that singular, that like, huh? And then also the singular CTA, call to action, that's the way to go. But fucking stellar. I want some bits and pieces of I want some bits and pieces of I think like one of the notes I want to make for the video, let me get this for my notes. Would be selective. A time lapse of actually practicing Helium's tutorials. I also, while the reaction of a reaction is funny, it's just kind of, it's a little too bland. Hold on. You said you need the broom? just focusing on the video content, but it's good to pick up things like, yeah, just like like little things here and there are always helpful. I think the biggest thing for you is going to be optimizing around jump cuts, because as you experienced, it's painful. It's painful. So even without the automation, just OBS with the pause button will do you a lot of good. Because you're constructing thoughtful points. I like to riff a lot, and I go fast. So I have the pause automation, but I think because you're thinking about the points, I don't know if you write it down, but it seems like you definitely think a lot. So while you're thinking, you can hit the pause button on OBS. And I think it comes with it. So all you would have to do is go into settings, hotkeys, pause, unpause. So, and then you can set it to the same key. So that all you have to do is toggle it. And then speed selective. And then yeah, I'm just thinking if I, yeah, all right. Be selective, and then I think I'm gonna cut up the reaction to a reaction the reaction of a reaction to a reaction. I don't even know if that's grammatically correct, but focus on developing routines. I think I kind of want to. I want to kind of increase my output. Yeah, man. Certain things about like it's so helpful. There's just things that save you time. It's almost like it would be better because you have to go through jump cuts to realize how fucking insipid they are, and how like in the time it took you to make jump cuts, you could have made like music for the talking section. You could have like downloaded like stream beats, added it to the things. Like in the time that you save, you can add other value, right? And so it's one of those things where I think so many people, they're like, oh my God, I work so hard on my videos. And it's like, work less hard. Like don't work as hard. And then you'll be able to add other things. But it takes so much time. And I think to appreciate what needs, like what, and I don't script any, yeah. No, that's the impression I get. And that's where you want to be. You just kind of like think a lot about the points, which is what I do. So yeah, that's what you want to do. So the pause button is going to be your best friend. Because I know you have good taste and you've watched so much YouTube. So the Ira Glass thing, where Ira Glass talks about the curse of having good taste, but also not making, like when you make a video, I'm the same way. You're like, I could have done XYZ here and there, right? And so there's always like I want to add that. There's always that. And yeah, I think to continue that, like I want to add this, that, the other thing. It's about speed. And speed is really just, it's easy. It makes things easier. So the pause button is a big one. Like I said, I don't think you need the automation, but if you find yourself jump cutting still a lot with the pause button, let me know and I'll help you set up advanced scene switcher. It'll be a little bit more difficult because you have a mic, a dynamic mic, but you know about compression, so I don't think it'd be that difficult. I love doing runs. I never worked on them ever. They came easy to me because of the vowels. Done scripted theater, but improv has always been my domain. Yeah, same. Same. And it also helps that you know your shit, right? Like, you know what you're doing, so. All right. Yeah, it's so funny that people that's like a big thing people like. I have yet to super appreciate them, and even in their musical application. We get together. Sorry, my wife was like, it's unfair to forget to bring the water pitcher back. I'm so indignant. Being married is hard. I just want to be like, it's just a water pitcher. But, you know, pick your battles. I'm not going to fight over that. Helium beats. Sick beats. Check out the cover by Improver. Paris, Standing Faded. That and there's a couple of things. Prover. There's a couple of things. I'm gonna get that up and add it to the Discord. If you're not in the Discord, I'm going through those. Circle Jam. Aristanis. A bit of an older one, but it's fine. Oh, you're talking about the faded one, right? I think you did link it actually in the Discord, if I recall. Let me add it now. Because I thought that was Rumi official for a second. And I was like that's a big one. So I added that. What I think I'll do, I'm trying to figure out workflow. And what I think I want to do is do a stream like this. And, you know, just kind of like do whatever the fuck. I kind of do whatever the fuck I want. Until I have more of a consistency to where I feel comfortable scheduling things. And then take a bit of time to edit. Feel that pain. Start with beatboxing, because beatboxing people are in the morning. And then edit a little bit, post, and then do a singing stream, where singing content is the focus. And that way, because I'm so off the cuff, and I've realized that with video making, planning is fine and good, But the way I go about it is very off the cuff. And I don't always know what to do. Like I'm just not like someone who plans a lot. Like I'll have ideas and I'll break down the process. But ultimately the filming process is top of mind. And that's how I just do it best, which is why I like streaming. It's like, oh, this reminds me of this and stuff like that. I think it's just the best way for me to make content moving forward. But certain things didn't work today, like my MIDI shenanigans didn't work, which is discouraging. Oh, well, that worked. That was just the wrong button. So was there? Okay, so that would mean that this works, possibly. Nope. I'll have to figure that one out. Watching your reactions and decided to offer on your thanks for the reactions. Thank you for watching and thank you for the recommendation. I put it in the Discord as kind of a reminder for myself, and yeah, I'm excited to do it. I would stream on every day on YouTube if it would let me. You can do it on PC. For phone, you need, I think, 50 subscribers. But you can do it on PC with 0. Is this the one I just made, where it's just like 2 seconds long? Let's find out. I can't believe that's as much as 12 megabytes. Anyway. All right. Check. 2 followers. Yeah, you need 50 on a phone. Just make a bunch of shorts. Just make a bunch of shorts. At about 100 shorts, which you could do just recording on your phone, like you know, trying run or whatever, you know, just like do those. Like whenever you practice, just get your phone out and do whatever. You'll get 50 pretty quick. It's not that hard. Literally just post anything consistently and you'll get 50. It's like it's an easy thing to do. Yeah, that's what I would do. Yeah, it's not hard. Yeah. BD? Thanks for that.
Далее у нас идет клэп. Далее буква К, обычная буква К.
Yeah, see it defiant. This will be the B selective. Facevi vita mirande quel che in cresce morte Now I have it stuck in my head. Fucking brilliant. It's a brilliant aria. Recent solo has really good numbers. I'm more than game to check it out. But I definitely had to do Defiance because he put so much work into it. I need a counter. Because like this is just taking too long to change the number. Like, and I'm doing way more attempts. So like I think what I'll do is this. Just do calculator. Whoa. Yeah, I'll work with Schuster on getting an actual counter where I can just hit a button. We'll make like a simple Python script to change a notepad and then read from notepad. And that'll be easier than this. One plus one equals. Nope. That didn't work. I need a different hotkey. I need a different hotkey screenshot. Screenshot output. Let's do it different. Let's do a hotkey. No, print screen won't work. Okay. Let's do that. Calls it basic. And then I think what I'll do is I'll do this. Oh, that's not correct. That's funny. Let's do that.
Happy. Wake up, Happy. It's almost half.
This is what's fun about time-lapse ones, where you can kind of do all this stuff. So use that. I'll go okay that. And then we'll bring in calculator as well. Display, calculator. Uh-huh. I don't think the generation is gonna understand Popeye, but I don't give a shit. Uh-huh.
Half past no time.
Good.
Oh, it's you double crosser.
That's pretty bad, the way that that plays out. That's fine though. The thing is, I always do more than all right. How many of those are there? Okay. I don't know why this happens with, oh, right. I didn't save the actual directory. Okay. You really got to be selective about how you use your time. If you're an opera singer, you should just stick to opera. None of this beatboxing nonsense. Be selective. Focus. There we go. You really got to be selective about how you use your time. If you're an opera singer, you should just stick to opera. None of this beatboxing nonsense. Be selective. Focus. I'm not great at both. I'm okay at one, and I'm serviceable at the other. But that's me, like, by professional standards, by like someone who would compete and yada 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 yada. You know. You really got to be selective about how you use your time. If you're an opera singer, you should just stick to opera. None of this beatboxing nonsense. Be selective. Focus. You really got to be selective about how you use your time. If you're an opera singer, you should just stick to opera. None of this beatboxing nonsense. Be selective. Focus. And that's the PSA. All right. I think that'll be that. And then I'll put that together. Post that today. Just churn them out, and then I'll figure out the MIDI shit before the next stream. All right. Toodles, thank you for tuning in as I experiment with all of this shit.